towards a bachelor's degree, and you have to get an educational evaluation from some respected U.S. source that determines that this experience plus some education, or in some cases even 100% experience, can be qualified for a bachelor's degree. You ever seen that one? Doesn't happen too often. 12 years of experience equal to a bachelor's. Can be done. Infrequently. I don't recommend it. They don't like that at immigration. Okay? So you'll get your approved LCA, the labor condition application. It's kind of a first step. Then you get your approval from the USCIS for the visa petition. And then, of course, you obtain your H1B visa stamp at the consulate, and then you go into the U.S. and start your job. The LCA, okay? Who's responsible? Which government agency oversees LCA? DOL. Okay. What's the form number? 9035. I know some of you people sleep and you have dreams about these forms, right? If you have husband or wife or girlfriend, boyfriend, do they want to hear about these forms? It's my experience they don't really want to know. Just warning you, if you're thinking about getting married or something, leave this topic somewhere else maybe. It's just for us. You know what I mean? The employer attests. That means that they swear to do these things when they file LCA. Wages and benefits. They got to get benefits equal to what other U.S. workers are getting, not less. They can't be cheap to the, poor person coming from another country. That's not what this is about. Working conditions have to be provided equal to everybody else. Again, no sweatshops, no, giving a bad, a bad desk or bad something to just the guy who's coming on H1B. No strike or lockout. That means you can't be locking out your H1B workers, and if there's a strike, you have to let them show up to work if they want to work that day. Things like that. Notice to workers. Okay, this is another one. Again, the LCA has to be, or is supposed to be, posted in a public place at the employer's U.S. office. Most employers don't do this so publicly that everybody going to the water cooler sees it, although that's probably how it's supposed to be done. Because it has the job information, the person's salary and things like that, most employers like to put it somewhere a little less conspicuous, but really you're supposed to put it somewhere fairly conspicuous. And it's a notice to the other workers that H1B worker is coming. How long is that supposed to be posted at U.S. workers?
10 days.
10 days.
10 working days.
10 working days, man. Lions. You guys are tigers. What if your company is H1B dependent? What does this mean?
Then additional attestations might be required.
Okay.
It is based on the ratio of the U.S. worker and the...
Exactly. If your company has more than 50 employees, and most of yours will, more than 15% H1B visa holders means you have to do additional attestations, additional promises, and most of them have to do with the fact that you looked for U.S. workers, you have recruitment programs going to look for people in the U.S. economy, but nobody is coming, and so you're bringing these H1B guys. It's not a big deal, but it's something additional you should have, each employer should be documenting. Indian companies get more scrutiny than others because they send so many. There's no doubt. You know this. So you do have to take measure and be consistent and careful for companies that are H1B dependent. Are any of your companies, do you know, H1B dependent for sure? I know you're shy, but it's okay. We're all friends here, I won't tell anybody you're H1B dependent, I mean, it's not like that's a bad thing, really. That's kind of cool because you have so many. Okay, here's something. The first period usually for H1B visa is granted for how long?
3 years.
Only 3 years. Have you seen less? Sometimes less. I've seen less, but usually 3 years. We estimate the process takes between 1 to 5 months. Typically depends on the backlog at any immigration service center. They currently, as you know, have shifted where you will file depending on your geographic location, and that changes all the time. Things that you should always just be expecting changes. Expect the unexpected with immigration. It's going to happen. They're going to change where you file, and you're going to be surprised sometimes. But right now, They've just changed again, maybe some of you know. Instead of just filing in Vermont, there's now going to be H1B Vermont, H1B, where am I from? Say it, people, out loud. California, that's right, I'm from California. And that's where you'll file some of the other ones. And I don't think they've revealed, have they revealed where the line is yet, where you will file, like which states go where? It's not till April 2nd anyway. It's like, why did they pick April 2nd anyway? You know, it's like after the big H1B thing. Now, if you want a speedy processing, you can pay $1,000 extra to immigration. Of course, none of that comes to me. You pay $1,000 to immigration, and they will process in 15 days. Does that mean you get an approval in 15 days? That means you get something, right? You either get an approval or a, what's it? The RFE, the denial. I don't even like that word, man. That's taboo. Okay. But the other thing you could get might be, if they don't process in 15 days, you might get your refund. You might get $1,000 back, right? There's 65,000 H1Bs granted each year under the current quota system. Again, the fiscal year starts October 1st, goes through September 30th of next year. There are 20,000 H1Bs set aside for people with advanced master's, PhD program from U.S. university. There was something else I wanted to say about this quota. Oh, you can apply how many months in advance of an H1B? Only. Why is April 1st the big day? Because it's 6 months before the fiscal year starts, which is October 1st. So that's 6 months you can start in advance. Okay. How do you prepare yourself for April 1st filing if you can only have H1B starting October 1st? What do you people do? That's just a tricky question. Are you going to get a full 3 years from October 1st? Is your worker going to get a full 3 years? No, it's going to be a little bit less, huh? September, it's going to be like a month or so less, because you're going to get your LCAs valid earlier. You're not going to apply for your LCAs and all of these things on April 1st. That has to be done sometime in advance. Complicated. Again, these are the things that make people's heads hurt in immigration. I'm not going to make you go there today, but just so you know, there's some tricks to being prepared to make sure that you are ready on April 1st to file as many as possible. People are estimating that all of those H1Bs could be gone in a matter of 2 weeks. I have some scared clients who think it's going to happen even faster than that. So, you know, be cautious and prepare early, and don't wait. And if you need help, you know, let me know. H1B visa stamp. Let's just kind of rush through this, I think. Obviously, a visa stamp is required for entry to the U.S. Does everyone understand what a visa stamp is? You're not going to tell me if you don't. I know all of you are shy anyway. But H1B visa stamp. Again, there's confusion sometimes. What is I-94? What is a visa? What does all of this mean? The visa is the document that is usually sealed or it's adhered to your passport on a page, and it has an expiration date that says this person can enter the U.S. from this date until that date as an H1B worker. When the person goes through the airport finally, and they show the immigration people, see, I can come, the immigration guy says, great. Bang, they stamp the passport, they stamp the I-94, and they say, good, you must leave by X date. Usually the date will correspond with the date on the visa, but again, sometimes it doesn't, and that's where problems occur, and you need to warn your workers to be careful and say, hey, I don't think you gave me the right date. Something could be wrong. Could you help me? It might save some trouble.